Race on a Ramornie handicap day. 2,200 metres. About to go. They're off. A good line. Treat Me Special began okay, and so too did Major Boots and Tony, looking for a prominent spot. Bold Impulse got across from a wide barrier, then Treat Me Specially inside. Big Ellery, Vanessa May, and Venus May has dropped out to the tail of the field. Past the winning post the first time, a bit over 1,800 metres to go, and Major Boots leads here by a bit over a length to Tonigan, followed by Bold Impulse on the outside of Treat Me Special. Then 2 lengths away is Vanessa May, followed then by Big Ellery. Up on its outside is Venus May at the tail of the field, 8 lengths from the leader. Over the crossing they go at the mile mark, and the leader now is Major Boots, led by 1.5 lengths to Tonigan. They're going pretty fiercely up front. Then Bold Impulse the third around Treat Me Special. Then 3.5 lengths away is Vanessa May. Then followed by Big Ellery behind it, and on the outside of Big Ellery is Venus May. Down the back of the track they go, a bit over 1,300 metres out, and the leader is Major Boots by a bit over a length to Tonigan. 3 lengths away then is Bold Impulse. It's inside is Treat Me Special. The order hasn't changed since the start. Then followed by Vanessa May, Big Ellery sneaking up on the inside of Venus May. So it's a bit more compact now down the back of the track, where Tonigan on the outside of Major Boots is putting a bit more pace into the race. And on the outside, Tonigan raced the length in front of Major Boots. 2 lengths away is the favourite Bold Impulse. Then Treat Me Special. Vanessa May is now getting a move on. Then Venus May tracking into the race nicely on the rails is Big Ellery. 750 metres to go, and Tonigan led by 1/2 length to Major Boots, who went backwards at that stage. Around it goes Bold Impulse. Then Vanessa May coming into the race strongly, 3 wide on the track. Vanessa May's tracking it through. Treat Me Special went back in the centre, and Big Ellery stood on the rails. 5 lengths first to last. Then Tonigan about to wheel onto the home bend, just in front here of the favourite Bold Impulse. Vanessa May is wide on the track. Then Venus May behind them is Major Boots and Big Ellery as they straighten up in the first at Grafton. The leader is the favourite Bold Impulse. Vanessa May on the outside, trying to bridge the gap, and Venus May now putting it a big run down the outside. In front, Bold Impulse, I think it's in trouble. Yes, on the outside, Venus May grabbed it. Venus May raced to the front over Vanessa May, and from a long way back is Big Ellery, but 2 out of 2 now for Venus May. She wins by 3 over Vanessa May. Then followed a photo third, Bold Impulse or Big Ellery. Then Treat Me Special. Tonigan went backwards from the 400 metre mark, and the last one was Major Boots. Too good for them.
That winner there, number 8, Venus May, ridden by Alan Robinson, $6.10 and $2.50 in New South Wales. Number 7, Vanessa May, has paid $4.10, and it is a photo for third. But a good win to number 8.
In prize money, sponsored by Tui's. As I said, all of the top jockeys and trainers are here. Craig Carmody came up on the same flight as I did this morning. He's here to ride a very good chance in the Ramornie. He'll be riding Little Lucifer. And even Stephen King, he had a very early start this morning. Started out in Melbourne, flew to Sydney, changed planes and flew up to Grafton. And he's here to ride Antiquity. So the fact that he's come that far to ride that very classy galloper from the Graham Begg stable, I think might be a pointer in itself. As for the weather and track conditions, things are a little bit overcast, but they aren't forecasting any rain today. Maybe a little bit later tonight a few showers are forecast, but I think they're tipping them to be mostly coastal. The track is officially rated as dead, but judging by that time in the first, I'd say it's probably on the better side of dead. We'll monitor the first few races to give you a more accurate assessment. But yeah, certainly it is one of the great country racing carnivals that you'd find anywhere in Australia. It's great to be here, back close to home base for me, Rod. We are looking forward to our coverage of both today and tomorrow. Back to you until we have more here at Grafton as runners head around to the barrier for race 2.
We can hardly wait to go back to Grafton. At Moonee Valley now, they're getting ready for the second. Next event, here's Matt Browning.
OK, Rod, thanks. Yes, the next race is only about 2 or 3 minutes away. Alan Galogly from Racing Radio 2KY will be helping us out today and also tomorrow, helping us find a winner, hopefully, for the feature races and the support programs here at Grafton this afternoon. Good to see you again, Jock.
Yeah, same to you, Matt. It's a great carnival, isn't it?
I'll get your tips first and then we'll talk more about that. What do you like in race 2?
I thought number 3, Laura Squill, was the one that paraded beautifully. Very good run at Ipswich last start, they tell me, and a lot of confidence on track. And if Laura Squill runs to its appearance, I think it'll be winning. 2 fleece lines the next one. 3 runs back from a spell. Fitness level high. Unlucky here last outing. I thought number 10, Southgate Lad, had a good hope if you're playing Cornelis.
You sound a bit husky, Jock. What the hell's happened?
I just talk too much, as Rod Gallegos will tell you.
You've been here since Sunday. The carnival seems to be going well for the club, and by the looks of that crowd, just looking at the horses in the mounting yard, I mean, they could close the gates now and be happy with the crowd.
That's right. Well, Sunday was a huge kick-off. The crowd was, just past expectations, and I think today and tomorrow is going to be records, like you said. They're just packing the place out.
Okay, I'll let you go, but we look forward to working with you today.
Yeah, I'll go and have a soother.
Absolutely. Get stuck into the lozenges. 3, 2, 10 are Alan Gologly's selections, and for punters wanting to have a bet in the next, they wouldn't want to muck around because, Rod, they are moving into the barrier.
Good on you, Matt, and tell Jock Gologly a couple off the wood at the Breakfast Creek will fix his voice. Loris Quill is the favourite. Jock Gologly's selection at $2.50. Second pick is number 6, which is Captain Midnight, $5.60. And top hole, $8.10.
Looks to be a perfect line. A couple out wide just marking time, but they settle down again. And they're ready to go. Unforgiving stands up well. He hits the lever, they're off and racing, and Barela was a little bit slow to move, and beating them out Unforgiving on the rails. Captain Midnight was there, and Ding Dong. 4 wide now, Fleece Line, and right off the track is Southgate Lad. In behind those, Loris Quill, followed by Morning Swell. Getting back now is Barela, but making up ground after that tardy start. Saganav's a long way back, so's Top Hole and Attribute last of all. Unforgiving leads down the side, 800 out. About a neck now, and Ding Dong. And our Fleece Line's still out wide, and so is Southgate Lad. Behind them, Loris Quill getting a beautiful run on the rails, box seating. Then Captain Midnight, followed by Top Hole and Barela, who's well back. A long way back is Captain Midnight. Back with those Saganav. Attributes a long and distance last. And now Top Hole drops back. Oh, Southgate Lad collapsed there. He's down, and he's badly fractured his leg. And as they come round the home turn, Unforgiving in front. He booted clear of Ding Dong. Out wide now, Fleece Line. Loris Quill is pushing its way out the grey. Behind those is Barela, and then came Fleece Line and Captain Midnight. Loris Quill going after Ding Dong. Barela getting clear and Unforgiving, but the grey burst clear Loris Quill. He put it beyond doubt, Loris Quill. Once he got into the gap, he raced clear. Down the outside, Saganov got up for second. Loris Quill beat Saganov. Third, Barela, which wasn't a bad run. Then Captain Midnight, Unforgiving. Then Ding Dong, followed by Top Hole, Fleece Line. Morning Swell well back with Attribute. And...
And my apologies to Greg Radley calling that race from Grafton today. We're apparently going to get a few different callers. But he got the favourite home, Loris Quill, beating Saganav and Barela. $2.70, $1.50 Loris Quill, $5.80 Saganav and Barela, $3.90.
For race 3 here on Ramornie Day. Big crowd in attendance here this afternoon. Wonderful conditions for racing. Just a little bit overcast, the temperature perfect. And these runners have been positioned, although the starter is still having some trouble with one towards the outside who remains on the toe. Glenrock Shanna is out there, that could be the one. Here he comes now, the starter. They're set, 1,200 metres the journey, ready to run. He has a look at them. They stand up pretty well. Now they're ready. One took a backward step, but they all got away okay on jumping, and Victory Blur was the best one to begin. Brimaru's Chariot began speedily over near the inside also. Now Christmas Moon was away smartly in advance of Cherie Jane, and further out on the track then improving Molochai's Lass. 4 wide then at that point is Glenrock Shanna, followed further back then on the outside by Talaria's Lass, over on the inside Defiantly. Back with them Hot Finale, followed by Kenilworth Lass, well back in the field, then Burley Jewel, and back there with it last of all was Greedy Girl. They raced down the side, and Victory Blur has got away at the 600 metre mark. Leads by 2 lengths now to the good of Brimaru's Chariot travelling second. Molochai's Lass up around the outside third. They were followed further afield by Cherie Jane in the centre. On the inside there is Christmas Moon. Talaria Lass around the outside, followed then by Cherie Jane getting out of it now. Further back then came Glenrock Shanna. The next one Defiantly, Burley Jewel, Kenilworth Lass and Greedy Girl into the straight they go, and Victory Blur well clear at the 250-metre mark, has the length and a half over Christmas Moon, getting out and chasing now. Down the outside is Hot Finale with Talaria Lass, Victory Blur in front. Christmas Moon trying violently on the outside, but Victory Blur in front. Christmas Moon is trying very hard on the outside, but the post is going to be too close, and a good all-the-way win to Victory Blur in the third. Victory Blur first, Molokai Lass got second, just over Christmas Moon, who weakened in the run home. Then Hot Finale, followed by Talaria Lass, then came Defiantly. They were followed over the line by Brimaru's Chariot, well back then Burley Jewel, followed by Glenrock Shanna. Cherie Jane dropped out with Greedy Girl, and Kenilworth Lass was last of all.
The well back number 5, Victory Blur, tipped by Jock Galogley, $3.50 and $1.50. Ridden by Glenn Collis. Number 11, Molokai's Lass, $2.50. Number 6, Christmas Moon, $1.50. Strathalbyn, correct weight on the hurdle, Bungalow, Brushkin and Kashangi. The Quinellas 27.50 Super Tab, 31.90 New South Wales, 31.70 Queensland, and the trifecta's 932, 1,277, 1,120. Doomben for the third event today. The 3 fancied runners are 1, 2 and 5. Regal Royal, $2.95. Regal Chi-Chi, $2.65. Celestial Abbey, $3.50. Regal Royal is the selection from Alan Thomas. Just before they jump, there's the totes at Sandown Park, the Greyhounds, Firebride, Breshenbale, Modus Operandi, Quinellas and trifectas for Super Tab in New South Wales. Set now, or almost set, the winningest jockey in Australia.
Yes, he's certainly after that record, Rod, and I think he's got that record well and truly in his sights with, I think, 21 or 22 days remaining in the current racing season before we click over August the 1st. He's got a good chance of riding some winners today too, including the Ramornie handicap winner, Greg Ryan. Good to see you again.
Yeah, g'day, good, thanks.
It certainly has been a season, hasn't it? You're up to 174 winners going into today's meeting. The New South Wales record 182, the Australian record 186. Are you a realistic chance of equalling or breaking those records?
Well, I am. I'm starting to run out of time. Can't afford to have any more slack days, but it's still in reach.
I think that week or two on the sideline, if it wasn't for that week or two, it would have been even more, it probably would have been a reality by now.
Well, I've had a few suspensions this year, probably 4. But you've only got myself to blame. Like, if you do it, you've got to do the time too. So, it's all part of riding a lot of winners every year. You've got to be consistent and keep out of trouble.
Your strike rate's pretty good. 4 winners here last Thursday and then 2 winners on Sunday, including the running of the South Grafton Cup. It's been a pretty happy hunting ground for you, Grafton, this winter, hasn't it?
Yes, it's the first time I've been up here was this year, and it took me a little while to get the knack of the track, but I think I've got the feel of things now, and I've had a good couple of weeks up here so far.
Tell us about your ride in the Akubra Ramornie today. Mr. Squill, horse number 14. He's down in the weights with 52. He's got barrier 11, but his form's excellent.
Yeah, his last 2 wins have been very impressive. He gives horses a lot of start in the race, but he's got a great finish on him, and he's only got 52 on his back, and that'll let him sort of hit the line hard. He's got to be in with a realistic chance, I think.
He's owned by Wal Turner of the Gunnedah Racing Club. A big thrill for him to have this horse racing in such great form.
Yeah, he was thrilled with his win last week, and and he's got his hopes high for the Ramornie.
How's the track out there, Greg?
It's all right. It's just a bit of the sting out of it. It was a bit softer the last couple of meetings, but it's a couple of nice days we've had. The track's only just got a bit of the sting out of it. It's quite good.
Good luck today.
Oh, thank you.
Greg Ryan there. Rod, 174 winners is his current tally, but I'm tipping by the end of the day he could have even improved on that. Back to you.
It's a great effort, Matthew, isn't it, riding around those country meetings to get to 174 in a year. Vane Tycoon, Tyaga, Busy Toy, the placings at the Valley. For race 5 at Sandown Park, here again is Ron Hawkswell.
Starter Rex Kelly with the button. Gates Fly racing in Avion, slow to move, missed it by a length, and Think and Olympia dropped back after the start. Chiquita came out very quickly and went straight to the lead, with the favourite Stately Rose moving to second. Sunday third on the outside of Revocious Flame, and then 2 lengths to In Avion. And neck to Olympia, the grey, who's second last, and Think a length and a half back last at the 7. They work off the back straight, and the leader is Chiquita by a half length to Stately Rose as they pass the 1,000 metres peg. A length and a half to Revocious Revocious Flame, who's keen to go faster. Sunday a neck away fourth. A length and a half to Avion on the outside of Olympia, and 2 lengths to Think, who whip them in as they stride past the 800. Not out to break records. Chiquita by a length over the odds-on Pop. Stately Rose kept one away from the rail. Revocious Flame third and closest to the fence on the inside of Sunday with the quartered cap. Another length and a half to Avion, 1 deep on the outside of Olympia, and Think is peeling 3 deep from the tail of the field as they approach the top of the lane. 450 metres left to run, and Chiquita showed the way into the straight over the favourite Stately Rose, let down to chase for the lead. Revocious Flame gets a run along the inside, and then Sunday Olympia, and Think is the outside runner with 200 metres to go, where Stately Rose went to the lead, and Lenny Beasley went for home on Stately Rose. Revocious Flame is second. Think is running on, and then Olympia, but it's all Stately Rose. It's an armchair ride for Beasley at the end. Stately Rose wins the money. Photo second and third. Toss of the coin. Olympia and Think with only a nostril between them. Then Revocious Flame, Chiquita, Sunday, and Avion.
And the winner there, number 1, Stately Rose, ridden by Lenny Beasley, and was the fancied runner, of course, $1.70 and $1.20. They have called for a photo to determine second and third. And Lenny Beasley giving a very polished display there on that winner, Stately Rose, as we look at the totes at Belmont Park.
And High Stirlay, the grey from the outside with Conqueror, jumping onto a bend here, so Ellie's are fairly important, particularly for those that go forward at the start. Starter just holding them. He's not quite happy. Magic Moustache just prancing about. They're racing this time, and High Stirlay drop back shortly after the start. T-Max away very quickly. Fats and Me and Tractable quickly rushing up towards the early lead over Buster Manty. Pimpala Magic was caught wide, so the rider quickly rushing around the outside from I'm Game, Dolomites, and Magic Moustache back 5th last in the clear. A length to Conqueror. He's back 4th last and 4 wide from High Stirlay the grey, then Simpson, and dropping out to the tail is Victory Quest. Over the 1,000 crossing, and Pimpala Magic trap wide, moved up to go to the front. He led by a neck, but he is out 3 wide at the moment. I'm Game's going up very quickly to keep him wide, and also on the fence Fats and Me. And Fats and Me was able to boot up on the rail now, and he leads the way narrowly. Moving up to a clear second on the outside, Pimpala Magic. I'm Game third. Back on the inside is T-Max. They were followed in the centre by Tractable. A length away, Buster Manty. He's had a good run coming deep from Magic Moustache. Dolomite's back on the fence, and King's got absolutely nowhere to go. They were followed by Victory Quest, High Stirlow, and at the tail is Simpson as they come around the bend. Fats and Me on the fence leads. Pimpala Magic under pressure as they flatten at the 300. Buster Manty's into the clear. Conqueror starting to sail down the outside, and he's coming with the big guns, and soon after he'd race to the front now. Beasley drew the Persuader, and Conqueror at the 200 metres mark burst to the front. Victory Quest is coming down the outside from Dolomites, getting a late run, but it's too late. Conqueror raced away, and it's all Conqueror. Goes home and gives Beasley and Brian Guy a winning double. Victory Quest got second, a couple away. Buster Manty third. Dolomites had no luck. Fats and Me had his chance from T-Max, High Stirlow, Simpson, Magic Moustache. Well back in the field would have been pulling up very quickly Tractable. Near the tail, Pimpala Magic, and last home was I'm Game.
That was Terry Bailey calling the action at Grafton in race 5. Conqueror, $4.40 and $1.70. Lenny Beasley, the jockey. Second, number 13, Victory Quest, $7.30. And number 1, Buster Manty, $1.70. At Moonee Valley, the judge couldn't split the
Grafton, Matt.
Thanks, Matthew. It's my first time here, yeah, and I'm looking forward to the Ramornie.
So Kidlat will be your first ride on the Grafton track. What do you do when you're riding at a new track? Do you go out and have a bit of a look around the surroundings?
Well, actually, Matthew, I haven't got one ride before him. I'm in the upcoming race, but I got here nice and early. I had a bit of a walk around the track, and yeah, acquaint yourself with the track, Matthew, yeah. Okay,
we'll talk about Kidlat because that, well, on paper looks to be a very good chance in the Ramornie this afternoon. His form is excellent. Glenn Perry's been riding him lately, the apprentice jockey, but a senior rider on board today.
Yeah, he goes very well for Glenn. The horse was out of form for a little while, and John used Glenn on him 3 or 4 times. The horse seems to go really well for Glenn. He's a natural speed, so he's a front runner. So I think the tactics today would be to ride him forward and go forward from the barrier.
Matt, is this the horse that doesn't really appreciate the whip being used on him?
That's him, Matthew, yeah. Actually, I don't think Glenn even carries a whip on him. He just rides him hands and heels.
Will you be carrying a whip today?
I will, Matthew, yeah.
And you won't be afraid to use it on him?
Hopefully I won't have to. Yeah.
What does happen with this horse when you pull the whip on him? Does he just slows down, pulls up? What happens?
Well, he doesn't go any faster, Matthew. He resents the whip. I think he's just better hands and heels. It doesn't produce any extra effort in him, so it's a waste of time using it.
What's the stable saying about his chances today? John Morrissey's saying about Kidlat.
Yeah, I think John's quite happy with the horse, and it's a long trip from Canberra, so it's a bit iffy, see how he travels up, but I think if the horse is well in himself, he should run a good race.
Stubby Starkus came with him to keep him company. He's in the last race today. You're riding him. What hope do you give him?
Yeah, he's a lightweight and he's drawn well, and I think he's a good outside chance, Matthew, yeah.
Hardest to beat in the Ramornie before you go?
Oh, well, I think there's 3 or 4 good chances. Very open race, I think, Matthew.
Rightio. All the best. All the best with Kidlat. You're on a good hope. That's Matthew Carl riding here at Grafton this afternoon. Rod, his first trip to Grafton this afternoon, and hopefully for Matthew, it's going to be a winning one.
First time lucky, so they say.
Flew up this morning on Eastern Australia Airlines. Sitting across the aisle was Channel 10's very energetic weatherman, Tim Bailey. He had his Daily Telegraph open on the Grafton Gallops form guide, and he studied it for the best part of 35 minutes. Good to see you, Tim.
Thanks, Matty. Look, was there anywhere else to be but in a form guide? For mine, Can Grande, the Grey Flash, a sentimental winner 2 years ago. It can do it again for mine. Sovereign State will make it 3 in a row. Last 3 races here for Brian Guy and Lenny Beasley. And Rebel Rock, the horse with only half a tongue, but no, Kenny Callender doesn't own it. I think it'll run a good third, Matty.
Tim, we don't have a lot of time. They're moving into the barriers, but what brings you up this way? Are you broadcasting the weather for 10 from this neck of the woods?
Yeah, we're broadcasting live from here. We do it every year. We like to fly the flag on Ramornie Handicap Day, like you do, and Grafton Cup. It's a great carnival, and we might buy you one a bit later.
I've got to give you a wind-up, but you'd be pretty used to that being in the business.
Thanks, Matty. Good on you.
That is Tim Bailey, 137. His numbers in the next event, the Ramornie Handicap, and we're standing by to go from Tim Bailey to Terry Bailey to call the Ramornie. Let's have a look at the market at $7.90 for Can Grande. Sovereign State for Brian Guy, trying to make it a hat-trick, $8.50, $8.80 Little Lucifer, $9.60 Rebel Rock. Stephen King's up here to ride Antiquity at $6, and that pool heading towards $250,000, indicating a hell of a lot of interest in this race this afternoon, and why wouldn't there be? It's usually won by a very capable sprinter. Can Grande, of course, was the winner back in 1996. Rod Gallegos likes Hot as Hell here in the next event. Ran a fantastic race last start to win at Randwick, holding off Antiquity in a good finish. So it's race 6, horse 2, Hot as Hell, and Alan Robinson will be in the saddle. Hot as Hell is currently paying $13.50 on the New South Wales TAB. 1,200 the distance of this race. They are moving into line. Past winners including Tiny's Finito, Lightning Ben, that great galloper from Coffs Harbour, Lucky Dapper Rusali, and Nevada Lodge was a very popular winner. Just about set for the running of the Ramornie Handicap. Let's hand you over now to Sky's upcoming #1 race caller for Sydney, and that is Terry Bailey. Here he is.
And we'll be set for the running of the Ramornie Handicap. Some great horses have won the race, harking back to one of the all-time greats in 1990 when Tiny's Finito, the legendary Guineas champion, put up one of the great performances of the Yakuba Ramornie Handicap to win. And we can go back even further to the great filly, Oakley Plate winner from Coffs Harbour, Mistress Anne. Now moving up is Happen. That'll leave Dr. Nick to come in, and Antiquity, who has drawn a very treacherous gate. He has drawn the outside in the big field of 16, and he is the favourite for the race at $6. Now Antiquity comes up. Dr. Nick to be the last one to move in, and will be set for the running of this year's feature sprint. Dr. Nick moves in, and they're all set now. Started moving around to his platform, and they're about to jump. Antiquity, the favourite, drawn the outside gate. Red light on. Clear Memory moving about with nil pay. Set now. About to jump in the Ramornie. Line looked good, gates open, they're racing, and Little Lucifer took a backward step at the start with Belotto Bill. Out wide on the track, Regal's centre, Blazing Flight, Hot as Hell began very quickly, and Can Grande's going fast. Not far away, Rebel Rock, Hot as Hell is very deep with Dr. Nick, and Clear Memory just off the speed, and Kidlat bursting out of the pack's going to go to the front. At the 800, Kidlat in front of Rebel Rock, Can Grande's off the track. Blazing Flight, Clear Memory, the rail from Rebel Rock. Going forward on the outside then would have been Regal Centre. They were followed by Dr. Nick Sovereign State, hot as hell, well back. Near the tail of the field, Belotto Bill. They were followed by Pimpala Prince. Antiquity's a mile back in the field with Mr. Squill, Little Lucifer, and Nil Pay at the tail of the field. Rebel Rock on the inside of Kid Latin. It burst clear on the bend. At the 350 in the Ramornie there, 2 or 3 in front of Clear Memory. Sovereign State very wide. Mr. Squill's come to the extreme outside. Kid Lad in front. Rebel Rock the fence trying to come back, and Clear Memory, the boulders coming after the pair. A length away, Belotto Bill getting out of the pack, and Antiquity's coming with a great run. Inside the 200, Kid Lad in front. Here's Antiquity on the outside after Kid Lad and Belotto Bill. Kid Lad in front, Antiquity swamping him. Kid Lad hangs on. He'll win the Ramornie. It's Kid Lad's Ramornie handicap from Antiquity. I think Sovereign State third, Little Lucifer fourth from Belotto Bill. Then came Mr. Squill. Not far away would have been Rebel Rock. They were followed by Clear Memory, who ran one heck of a race from Nil Pay, Blazing Flight. Then happened Pimpala Prince, well back with Regal Centre, Dr. Nick, hot as hell, and Can Grande last time in the Ramornie. Stand by for the numbers. The time is 19.8. It's not too far outside of the race record, jointly held by Tiny Finito and also Can Grande. They've come home 35 and 47. We stand by for the numbers. Kidlat, a very emotional time for John Morrissey from Canberra, ridden beautifully by Matthew Carl. He was in between a bunch of horses as the gates opened. There must have been 5 or 6 contesting the lead, but he burst out of the pack. He is sat on the outside of Rebel Rock. He shook that horse off. It was Antiquity with the last shot at him in the last 100 metres. But Kidlat, hands and heels from Carl, a very competent rider, has taken this year's Ramornie handicap by just over a half length. Second will go to Antiquity. It was an absolute gem of a ride from Stephen King. He was back in the field, but he's come with a great run down the outside. And Sovereign State has raced without luck from his wide alley. He's finished in third position for Len Beasley.
And you heard Matthew Browning talking to Matthew Carl a little while ago. His first